This has grown, I think, because we've managed to retain a good percentage of the people that that have liked us from the start. They've sort of grown up with us. I think not a lot of it isn't really because of what we do musically. It's how people perceive our attitude towards what we do. I think they've realised that we do whatever we want, and they appreciate that. So we've managed to hold on to a lot of our old audience, and also we've gained a lot of new people of an age that, like around sort of anything between 14 and 18, that I now think of as young when I see them, but I actually feel exactly the same as when I was, between 14 and 18 when we started. The motivation's the same, and sort of the ideas in the group and the general atmosphere of the group is still the same as when we started. So I'd see the audience getting younger as opposed to us getting older. It's a weird way around. I don't think we really enjoy making videos. I think after the event it's probably easy to say we do, because they always end up looking good, and I suppose the bits that take place behind the camera or away from the camera are quite good fun. But no, I find them quite trying, because it's all acting and it becomes a bit of a strain. And also I have to sort of worry how fat I'm looking. It's a very vain occupation. I don't know. But we try and make our videos look ridiculous rather than flattering or glamorous. We're far more concerned. That's why we use Tim Pope. I mean, he doesn't really mind if we don't look wonderful, because he doesn't think we look wonderful in real life. He doesn't see why he should try and make us look any better. He's more concerned of what the film looks like. He calls them films, not videos, because we always shoot on film. Which I like that attitude. It's another thing I like working about him. He doesn't mind. He goes, I say, I look fat in that shot. And he goes, you are fat. It's like, he still has a lot of vitality that he had when we very first met him 3 or 4 years ago, and by now he understands our kind of language that the group uses. I mean, there's lots of abbreviations, and you say it's a bit like, and then you'll use similes which to someone outside of the setup probably wouldn't understand. You want it to look like rice or something, and he'll sort of imagine what you mean. It's mainly for that reason that he understands us. It's why we use the same producer on the records, and because we know what we want, we just need someone to translate that, either onto record or onto video. So we keep using Tim as long as he wants to work with us. The other thing working with Tim is he always tries to sort of better himself in ways that he can torture us when he's making the video. And we thought with the Close to Me video, when he dropped us in the dirty cold water, that he would be hard put to surpass himself, but he did on the Why Can't I Be You video. Putting me in the polar bear suit, I spent, I think, 14 hours in total in that. I lost about 1.5 stone. I was dripping all the time. And he insisted that we get all the dance steps right, even though, see, we've never danced before or since, and we didn't know if the other one was doing it right, and he was just making us do it over and over again. Even some of the outtakes, I think, are actually better than what made it into the video. Again, we wanted to send up the song. A lot of the times when we make singles, we tend to take the visual aspects of it to an extreme to make it obvious that we're playing ourselves up. Because if we took ourselves seriously with those sort of like pop singles, I think we'd lose a certain edge as a group that also does other things. I mean, we live away from videos most of the time. We sort of make stupid videos every now and again, but I think we're sort of, I don't know, we're not a serious group, but we make a more serious type of music as well as pop music, I think, or we have done. If I was 17 now, 17 again, I would still be motivated to start The Cure, because I'm still horrified at what I hear on the radio, so nothing's really changed. As a group, then we were far more morose. I personally was a much more despondent character than I am now, and we found it a bit trying. A lot of the attention that was thrust on us. We didn't actually want attention. It was a very weird setup. For a couple of years, we wanted to be totally anonymous, and we didn't actually want to be in a group even. We just wanted to make music. It was a bit, anti-pop sort of stuff. Which, looking back, I can see the reasons why, and I'm glad we did it, because we managed to escape, because we paid so little attention to what was going on. People actually grew fed up with us and dismissed us, which allowed us to sort of develop away from the public eye for a couple of years. So we didn't ever think, oh, we've got into the charts, this is the start of something big. We were actually angry, in a sense. When we did Top of the Pops, I didn't want to do it, and the other 3 did. And we had huge rows over it, because I was saying I didn't want to be seen on the same programme as you know, whoever else was on that week, and they thought I was being stupid, and in fact they were right, and that we should do it to show that there is something else other than the charts. But all those sort of considerations, I think they're still there, but we've thought them through a lot more, and I mean I now realise that that is the right attitude to take. That you have to introduce a certain competitive edge into what you do. Otherwise, you are too easily dismissed, and people just say, no, if they don't want to be listened to, we won't listen to them. I realised around that time, about 1982 into 1983, that the group was getting too serious, and we were in danger of like, destroying ourselves. Really, there was no fun being in the group. There was no fun listening to the group. You know, it was a very, although the music was very hard. It was very one-dimensional. There was no other facets to what we were doing, and the group was actually developing more of a character. I mean, I was feeling more comfortable with being a singer, and my whole attitude to it was changing. And I just wanted to reflect that in the music that we were making. I mean, we were going out and having a really good time, and then only ever making very depressing music, which I thought was a bit stupid. And I suppose it was quite a calculated effort to become noticed by a new generation of fans. You know, I mean, I wanted to change our audience as well in a way. I wanted to expand the audience, not really change it. I don't know. Again, it seems it's quite a long time ago. It's difficult to remember my motives. Half the time, I invent motives for what we do anyway. A lot of it's utterly motiveless. It's just we were probably drunk and said, let's do a jazz song. I went a bit funny after the Banshees stint. It's a bit odd. And a lot of what was going on in the studio when we were recording, I don't really remember. I would just come up with something. Most of the album was done with just me and Andy Anderson, who was drumming, and a lot of the rhythms he would just be playing on his leg like this. In fact, on the Caterpillar, a lot of the drums on it is actually him hitting his leather trousers. That's the actual sound of the Caterpillar. But yeah, all that was it. It was actually quite difficult. It wasn't. I don't have very many fun memories of that particular period because I knew what I wanted to do, but I was virtually on my own doing it because there wasn't really a group as such. You know, the Cure didn't really exist. I was very difficult to work with a lot of the time. So I think I've purposely blurred it a bit. Well, there was a time around when we were doing Faith, which was like 1981, when I was a bit peculiar, and similarly when we were doing The Top around 1984. I don't know, I just sort of, I go a bit distant. That's the easiest way of saying it. I'm not really that bothered about what's going on. I don't really know what's going on around me. I've become very sort of insular, and it's not very much fun for anyone else. And I find it quite fun, but it only lasts for a short while. I usually get hit and then I snap out of it.